Well, welcome, everybody, to a Monday Night Training Call. It is January the 8th, 2018. I'm Nathan Oates, and I am so excited that this is the first. We are changing up the format. Instead of just getting a kind of a boring old call, we want to do it live, at least on video, live, if you will, where you can see each other face to face. We can interact, we can talk about some things, and then I can actually show you some things on my screen that I'd love for you to be able to see as well, too. So if you're not familiar with what Monday Night Training Call is all about or why we do these trainings, if you are new to the team, this is your first time, we want to welcome you. These are times where you can actually learn about leadership development tips, business tips, products. We talk about products at times and different things, promotions, things you need to be a part of, but also ways to enhance your life on the leadership side of things, as well as what can I do better in my business? How do I go about doing certain things? And if you've never gone and listened to some of the past trainings, they are still available. So because we're doing a new format doesn't mean we still don't have those still. We have a ton of those available, and we want to invite you to continue to go back to the Hightail account and be able to actually get all those. You can download them, you can listen at your own time, and they should be titled correctly with the dates. So we have over a year worth of content there to help you do your business well. We have over almost 5 diamonds in the business, and us being a blue diamond in the first year, just over first year, 14, just over 14, 15 months here. So it works, and what we do works, and we work really hard to help you win. And so if you're on this and you're watching this, it's because you care about your business and you care about being able to move forward and properly. Let me highlight a few different things, and one of the best ways I thought I could do that was to actually share my screen with you. I'm going to show you a couple of things really quick. First off, I want to highlight is there are some promotions going on. You can see here, if you want to notice, we still have the frankincense promotion that's going on. With any single 200 PV order right here, you can still get that. That is still available to you. On top of that, Terra Greens, if you've never tried it, this is an amazing way to get your greens into your shakes or whatever, 10% off this month, and being able to do that. And last but not least is the free wild orange. If you have a LRP of 125 PV or more on auto ship, which is LRP, you're going to get a fun new wild orange, which those are fantastic for many different reasons. I'm not going to go all into it. I do want to highlight here that got to continue my session for whatever reason there. New year, new year, new year, new you. This is a promotion where you can go in and you can register. So you click on register to add events, create an account to edit events. And what you do is if you attend a New Year, New You event between January 1 and February 28th, you can, and you enroll as a wholesale customer or wellness advocate with a 100 PV order within 3 days of the event, the promo code will be applied during enrollment. So I want to encourage you, if there's a new you event going on, if you're putting one on yourself, you can get an extra 100 product points, just like you would. Those are LRP points is what it's talking about there. So I wanted to highlight that. Last but not least, I also want to highlight here for you the Leadership Retreat 2018. There are 2. If you are a silver and above, this should be non-negotiable, just like our yearly convention in Salt Lake City. You need to be a part of one of these 2. In Orlando, it's going to be March 13th through the 15th. And in Long Beach, California, it's March 26th to 28th. They are changing up the format where silvers and above can go to all of the days. Before, they only had 2 of the days because the first day was for diamonds and above. This year, it's all 3 days. It will be slam-packed with leadership development, tips, how to actually go to the next level, strategies, and plus you get to meet a lot of new leaders. They have breakout sessions. It is going to be well worth it. So you need to register for this on here. I'm showing you on the page here where you can actually register. Obviously, there's a video, and you can get set up in doing that. So Leadership Retreat 2018, make sure you plan on going to one, and let everyone know which one you're going to. I'm going to the leadership one in Orlando. Jenny and I are going down there. Make it a plan. Be a part of it. It's something that will help escalate your business. Bring someone with you. And I know it's silvers and above, but there's ways to work around that if needed. So, because not everyone can go, but we could possibly get a few extra tickets to get people in there that aren't quite maybe silvers, but they can learn a lot. If they're hungry and they're wanting to go to that next level, this is a great way to be able to do that. So, leadership is really big. Make sure you sign up and doing that. Now, with that being said, to talk tonight just briefly with you on classes. Why do we do classes? Why do we have oil classes? Why do we have the emotional classes? And I think it's important to talk about, especially with the new year going on, why is it that we actually spend so much time promoting them, getting them out, and making them happen? I want to give you three main reasons. But there was a quote that I heard once from a very wise man. He said, "You impress from a distance, but you impact up close." Let me say that again. You can impress people from a distance, so I can do something here on the screen, do something huge and try to impress you, and that's impressive, but I only impact when I'm up close, when I'm there with you, when I'm connecting with you. And so I want to give you a few reasons of why classes are so valuable and why they need to be on your radar weekly and monthly. They need to be on your radar all the time. How many classes am I doing this month? Again, this can include online, but I'm just specifically talking about face-to-face, getting at least one personal, face-to-face, belly-to-belly oil class, why they're so valuable, why they will actually help your business go to the next level. I actually love doing oil classes, face-to-face one. Again, this is not a knock on online classes. This is not a knock on any other type of the one-on-ones. I love the one-on-ones, but I'm talking about classes themselves, gathering some people together, 5 to 8 people together in a room and doing an oil class. Let me give you the 3 reasons why. Number one, first reason is it's the fastest way to build connection. Say that again. It is the fastest way to build connection with a larger group of people. We say anywhere from 5 to 8 people because that's still a manageable group where you can actually connect with that amount of people at one time. You can't do that on one-on-ones. You can do it with one person. It's as far as connection, and I'm not knocking the social media one, but social media fails in actual intimacy and connection with somebody. There is a connection, but there is not a ongoing life-on-life connection. It becomes very, very difficult. I have not seen a very great connection until they take it offline. So at some point, it has to be offline. And so by doing an oil class, it is the fastest way to build a bridge, connect with somebody, to get to know them, and they can get to know you as well too, okay? So that's number one. Number two is it's an immediate, we do oil classes because it's an immediate experience. People are looking for experiential things, excuse me, every single day. And so this experience can only happen when they're in your presence, when they're with you, where they're coming in. They're trying some maybe peppermint brownies, or they've got a oil shop bar where you're shooting water and some oils down. They can't do that in any other setting unless they're at an oil class, and obviously one-on-one, but this is a greater impact, a bigger bang for your buck, if you will. So you can touch, taste, smell oils at one time, and it connects with all the senses. And again, smell, when they smell these things, and when they smell the oils, and when they start interacting and having an experience, for some it's euphoric, to be honest, but for others it's just going, wow, this is amazing. I can see why this works. I can see how this could help somebody. So, and second reason, because there's an immediate experience, it's very personal, and it can show someone your support, how much you support it. I'm willing to go out of my way to support you. I'm putting this oil class on to support you where you're at, what you're going through. So remember, oil classes aren't just something we just do to get PV. It's more than that. Number one, it's fastest way to build connections with a larger group of people. Number two, it's the fastest way for an immediate experience with somebody with a larger setting, with a larger group of people. The average, if we talked about classes before, the average PV when done right, an emotional class or a regular oil class, yields about 500 PV. That's a great return. If you can get anywhere in that ballpark, you're doing great, and it's well worth your time because you're building up and you're going to start getting them on LRPs, doing a wellness consult. That's a whole other conversation, but I just want to encourage you. Classes are important. Fastest way to build connection, which at the end of the day, if you want someone to be a lifelong user and consumer with their health, dealing with their needs, they need to be connected with you. And this is one of the best ways to begin to do that and to build that bridge, as well as for them to experience it. Sometimes when you actually even do it online, I know it's a challenge where you're pulling out oils and you're showing them stuff. If they don't have oils in front of them, or if they don't have a sample from you, it's really hard for them to actually experience it. So again, I'm not saying you can do build some great momentum and build a massive business doing online things, but continue to build stability, continue to ground and go deep. It's really hard to duplicate getting face-to-face and doing an oil class. So I really want to encourage you. Those are the first two. The last way is this. It's one of the fastest ways to build class. People want to see, it shows someone what you're willing to do for them. And I already mentioned that already, but it shows your belief level. You're able to actually transfer face-to-face, which was really hard on screen and even what I'm doing now, how much you believe in that person and how much you believe what you have to offer is going to help their need, or how you believe how much this business can help support them to move in a different direction, for them to diversify their income. This is huge in doing that and moving forward. So I just want to encourage you, if you've never had a class yet, if you're just starting, get it on the books as fast as possible. Talk to your upline leader. Say, hey, I wanted to start doing some classes. I want to start getting this out. Help me navigate this. Help me do the class. And there's a whole process in walking people through. Obviously, online is fast and being able to connect, and we're going to have some more tools coming out very quickly here of actually an oil class, how to do an oil class even more, so you can feel more and more comfortable to be able to do that. I was thinking about this tonight, and I was thinking about how when you're thinking about people, I was reminded of this story. There was a man that was walking down the street one day. He was a very successful businessman, and he had a great day at work, and he was walking down. He was in New York City, and he was walking down on one side of the road, and he kind of glanced over, and he saw right across the street, and this was early in the morning, and it was very cold out. It was right across the street. There was this homeless man. You could tell he was homeless. He was just kind of, he had his cart there in front, and you could tell he had this styrofoam cup. You could see that it was this hot cup of coffee, or it was something. And he just kind of glanced, was kind of focused on doing what he was doing. And he was walking down the road, and all of a sudden he heard this, as he was walking past, he heard this guy call out to him saying, hey, mister. And the guy kind of was startled, like, are you talking to me? And he says, yeah, hey, you, come here. And obviously, that could be a little scary, but he asked him to come over. And so the man kind of reluctantly, sheepishly, kind of went over to see him. And he introduced himself. And he says, what can I do for you? And he said, hey, mister, look what I got. I got a hot cup of coffee. And, the businessman was kind of like, oh, okay, thanks. Is it good? And he goes, it's really good. And he goes, I'd love to share it with you. You got to try this cup of coffee. It's one of the best I've ever had. And big man was like, you could smell. I mean, the smell, he said, was to high heaven. He absolutely was extremely, almost disgusted by the smell alone. But he knew in his heart, he's like, there's something more here. And so with reluctance and kind of like wiping it off a little bit he took the coffee and just took a little sip, and he's like, wow, that is a great cup of coffee. And he gave it back. And he says, and he was getting ready to leave. And the homeless man looked at him again, and he said, hey, mister, could I have a hug? Again, way out of the box. And the man just paused there for a second and didn't know what to do. And he said, "Sure, buddy, I'll give you a hug." And he came up, and with the smell and the stench, it smelled horrible, absolutely horrible. He gave this guy a hug, just a big, strong hug. And when he stepped away from the man, you saw tears just pouring down this man's face. And the man who gave him a hug, the businessman, looked at him and said, "Are you okay?" And he goes, "That's the first time someone has touched me in the last 5 years. Thank you." I tell you that story because we could so often be going down our track in life, in our business, and we're trying to get people to notice all that was going on, and you've got directions and different stuff, but there are people that sometimes we pass by that we're missing. And the only way that you're going to be able to touch that person's life is if you stop long enough and to go, "No, this person matters too." And be willing to walk over, despite what you might see, the environment that you might see, the surroundings that you might see, and to put your agenda, maybe even sometimes put your pride aside, and just go, "What's going on?" And to reach out and touch that person, because that person matters. Every person on our team that would ever be a part of our team, that's ever going to come in as a customer, as a client, whatever it is, that matters. You matter. And I just wonder how many people get lost in the shuffle because they're not willing to get up close. Again, we can impress from a distance, but you only impact up close. And so I want to encourage you tonight that you would begin to look at your business and to go, where do I need to impact more? What do I need to be doing? I think classes are one of the best way to do that because you can invite someone that would normally maybe slip through the cracks another way that can hide, where you have a personal invitation, a phone call, a face-to-face to say, "Hey, I'd love for you to come." You're giving them a sample. "Hey, I'd love for you to come." It speaks so much more volume. The connection is built, and you will get a lifelong customer that way. And it will change the dynamic of your business, and it will build stability like you would never believe. So I want to encourage you, what do you need to address? Where do you need to begin to shift? So action step, get on your calendar this week, some classes, and start making it a monthly thing where you look to go, "I'm making sure I have at least one, personally, 1 to 2 oil classes every single month." And I would say at least one of those needs to be, minimum, needs to be a face-to-face group. And go for it. Make it happen. Even if 2 people show up, it's still worth it. I promise you. I've gotten builders. I got some great builders just from being able to actually invite 1 to 2 people to the group. I don't care about the size. I made it work because I wanted to impact their life. I wanted to change their life. I cared about what they cared about. So that was a big deal. So I want to encourage you all, get the classes on the books, okay? Let me kind of switch gears for a second here really quick. For those of you who are doing the Cleanse and Restore, we have a ton of people doing it. You're walking people through it. Hopefully you're starting to get into the wellness consults. There's still time if someone actually wants to order the Cleanse and Restore kit, getting people plugged in to do it. The rest of this month, you want to start educating them. You want to start getting a wellness consult at the very end of this month set up so that you can actually get them on the trim, the New Year kit. That's the Trim, Shake, and Slim and Sassy kit. Okay, so I want to encourage you because you can get a 60 to 90 day plan LRP by setting them that way, setting them up that way. So they're getting on this month, and if they got in the end of December, all of January, the end of January, your goal is to get them to reorder or to order the Slim and Sassy New You kit. And that's the Trim Shake as well as the Slim and Sassy oil, helping them for the next 60 to 90 days. You only can get that set up if you sit down with them with a wellness consult and get them set up on their LRP. So I want to encourage you to do that. If you have questions, reach up to your upline. If you're not sure, there's some stuff out on the Elevate Facebook page, or contact me, Nathan at healthyoats.com. I actually check Elevate oils at healthyoats.com a lot more when it comes to that. So hope you guys are doing awesome. So glad that we're doing this new format. Give some feedback. If you have any questions, reach out. Other than that, have an awesome day, and I look forward to hearing all the great news for this month of January. Take care, everybody. God bless.